Nia lived a calm and beautiful life in Buea, a green and peaceful town in the southwest region of Cameroon. She was known for her soft smile, her kindness, and the way she always put others before herself. Nia wasn't rich, but she had something more valuable: peace of mind and a heart full of love. She had been dating Malik for 2 years. Their love wasn't flashy, but it was honest. They laughed together, prayed together, and supported each other's dreams. Nia truly believed he was her forever. But then Zuri came back. Zuri was Nia's childhood friend, or so it seemed back then. In truth, she had always been more of a competitor than a friend. Loud, bold, and always dressed like she was going to a runway show, Zuri made sure the world noticed her. She had left Buea for years, chasing fame and followers in Douala and Yaoundé. Now she was back, and nothing about her had changed, except she was even more attention-seeking than before. And as soon as she saw Nia and Malik together, her eyes sparkled, but not with happiness. With envy. Zuri had always wanted what Nia had. Not just the boyfriend, but the peace, the quiet confidence, the love. And Nia could feel the shift, even before anything happened. Malik started acting a little different. A little more distracted. A little more online. Nia tried to ignore it. Maybe it's all in my head, she told herself. But in her heart, something had already cracked. And that crack? Zuri was ready to slip right in. Started with little things. Zuri began posting photos on social media. Glamorous selfies, late-night dinners, festival clips, and she always found a sneaky way to tag Malik. At first, Nia didn't want to believe anything was wrong. Malik told her Zuri was just a friend, and she wanted to trust him. Besides, Zuri had a habit of being dramatic online. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe Nia was overthinking. But her friends didn't agree. One by one, they started sending her screenshots. Isn't this Malik's shirt? Why is she always tagging him? Girl, this feels off. Still, Nia pushed the thoughts away. She didn't want drama. She didn't want to accuse Malik without proof. So she smiled through it, hoping it would all fade. But the truth doesn't stay hidden for long. It was during the Buea festival in Bamenda, colorful, packed, full of music and dancing, that Nia's heart finally shattered. She hadn't planned on going, but her cousin invited her last minute. And there, in the middle of the crowd, under the bright afternoon sun, she saw them. Malik and Zuri, hand in hand, laughing, walking like they belonged to each other. Not hiding, not sneaking, just bold. It felt like the world stopped spinning. Nia stood there frozen, her breath caught in her throat. People saw. People whispered. Some even took photos. And Zuri? She looked right at Nia. No guilt. No shame. Just a smirk, like she'd won a prize she'd been chasing for years. The betrayal wasn't quiet. It wasn't behind closed doors. It was public, loud, and intentional. And in that moment, Nia realized this wasn't just about a boy. This was about someone who had waited for the perfect moment to humiliate her, and took it. After the festival, things only got worse. Zuri didn't stop at stealing Malik, she wanted to crush Nia's spirit too. She took to social media like it was a stage and began throwing shade almost every day. She posted captions like, "Some girls are cute but just too boring to keep a man," and "Upgrade your life before blaming the girl who did." Everyone knew who she was talking about. The comments filled with laughing emojis, gossip, and messy opinions. Zuri was loud, bold, and cruel, and she wanted the world to laugh at Nia. What hurt the most? Malik stayed silent. He didn't defend Nia. He didn't speak up. Not even once. This was the same man who used to hold Nia's hand through storms, who once promised to protect her heart. Now he just watched as someone else broke it and said nothing. Nia tried to stay strong, but she was human. The shame, the betrayal, the online mockery, it all hit her at once. Nights became heavy. She'd cry herself to sleep, wondering what she did wrong. Was she really too boring? Not pretty enough? Not exciting enough? The pain dug deep, not just from losing Malik, but from being humiliated in front of the whole town, the whole internet. But something inside her began to shift. One night, after scrolling through yet another cruel post, Nia put her phone down and stared at herself in the mirror. Puffy eyes, messy hair, broken heart, but still standing. Still breathing. That's when she realized Zuri hadn't won. Not really. Because while Zuri was loud online, Nia had something more powerful: quiet strength. She wiped her tears, took a deep breath, and made a decision this wouldn't be her ending. This was the moment she would rise. After all the pain and tears, Nia decided to stop looking back and start building forward. She took all the hurt Zuri caused, all the silence from Malik, and turned it into fuel. It was time to choose herself. No more crying over people who didn't value her. No more hiding. This was her glow-up season, and it was personal. She started small. Woke up early. Ate better. Moved her body. She began journaling her feelings, praying more, and setting boundaries. Then came the big shift. Nia poured her energy into something she had always dreamed about, creating her own skincare brand. Growing up, her grandmother used to use natural oils and herbs from the Bafut region, and Nia remembered how those simple remedies brought healing and beauty. So she went back to her roots. She spent weeks researching, mixing oils, testing formulas. She talked to local women, farmers, and elders who had wisdom passed down for generations. Slowly, her brand came to life, all natural, African-made, and rich in tradition. She called it Nyota Glow, meaning star in Swahili, because she finally felt like she was stepping into her light. When she launched her Instagram page, it started with just a few likes. But as she shared more, her journey, her products, her raw moments, people began to notice. And not just notice, they celebrated her. Her skin glowed, her style evolved, her energy shifted. Comments poured in, "Sis, you're glowing. What's your secret?" This is the comeback of the year. The same people who once pitted her were now inspired by her. Nia didn't just glow up on the outside, she transformed from the inside out. And the best part? She did it without clapping back. No drama. No shade. Just elevation. Zuri had gone online to shame her, but now Nia's name was trending for a completely different reason. Strength, success, and self-love. A few months later, Nia was invited to an exclusive influencer dinner in Douala. It was her first big event since launching Nyota Glow, and she felt nervous but excited. Dressed in a sleek black dress that hugged her curves just right, with her glowing skin as her best accessory, Nia walked into the room like a quiet storm. She didn't need to announce herself, her presence did that for her. The dinner was filled with famous faces, flashing cameras, and champagne glasses clinking. Nia was seated at a long candlelit table surrounded by creatives, entrepreneurs, and tastemakers. But one man stood out, not because he was loud, but because he wasn't. Mr. Kawisi. He was older, with a calm confidence and sharp suit that whispered wealth without shouting it. His smile was warm, his eyes kind, and when he spoke, people listened. He didn't flirt the way most men did, he asked thoughtful questions. He had heard about Nyota Glow and genuinely wanted to know the story behind it. "You turned pain into purpose," he said, and the way he said it made Nia feel seen, not just looked at. They talked all evening about business, books, Africa's future, and even childhood memories. For the first time in a long time, Nia didn't feel like she had to shrink herself to be liked. With Mr. Kawisi, she could just be. No performance. No pretending. When the night ended, he didn't ask for her number right away. He simply said, "I hope this won't be the last time we talk," and smiled. Something in Nia's chest fluttered. This wasn't a man trying to win her over with sweet words or flashy promises. This was someone who saw her glow, not just on her skin, but in her soul. And just like that, something new began. Something real. Something she didn't see coming but deeply needed. Things between Nia and Mr. Kawisi began to grow slowly but beautifully. He wasn't rushing her. He supported her brand, encouraged her dreams, and showed up for her in quiet, steady ways. For once, Nia felt like she could exhale, like she was finally being loved in a way that didn't require pain first. But just when everything felt perfect, life threw a wild curveball. One afternoon, Nia was scrolling through old posts while planning a feature for her skincare line when she saw a tag family photo on someone's page. Her heart dropped. There was Zuri standing next to Mr. Kawisi, smiling, hugging him. The caption read, "Happy birthday to the best dad in the world." Nia froze. She stared at the screen, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Mr. Kawisi was Zuri's father? The same Zuri who had mocked her, humiliated her, tried to destroy her confidence. This wasn't just drama, this was madness. For a moment, Nia felt sick. She thought about cutting things off immediately, vanishing before it got messy. She didn't want people thinking she had planned this. That she was dating him for revenge. She didn't want her story to become some social media scandal. Her glow-up was built on grace, not pettiness. But when she finally sat down with Mr. Kawisi and told him what she'd discovered, he didn't flinch. "I already knew," he said calmly. "And it doesn't change anything for me." Nia looked at him confused. He gently took her hand and said words she'd never forget. "You are everything she pretended to be. Humble, focused, real. And if people want to talk, let them. I know your heart, and I choose you." In that moment, Nia felt a mix of shock, peace, and quiet strength. Life really had its way of writing the most unexpected stories. She hadn't chased revenge, but somehow, life brought her face to face with it and gave her the choice to either walk away or walk forward with her head high. She chose the latter. Nia never expected to fall in love again, especially not with someone like Mr. Kawisi. But as the weeks turned into months, their bond only grew stronger. He wasn't just kind with his words, he backed it up with actions. He showed up. He listened. He protected her peace. And he believed in her dream like it was his own. When Nia talked about growing Nyota Glow beyond Cameroon, Mr. Kawisi didn't just nod and say, "That's nice." He opened doors. He introduced her to business leaders across West Africa, helped her find ethical suppliers in Ghana and Nigeria, and guided her through tricky negotiations with grace. But he never tried to take over. He let her lead, he just walked beside her. Nia found herself smiling more, laughing louder, living fully. And for the first time, she didn't feel like she had to earn someone's love by shrinking herself or playing small. With Mr. Kawisi, she felt safe to be powerful, to be soft, to be everything all at once. Sometimes late at night, she'd look at him while he was reading or making tea and wonder how something that started in so much pain could lead to a love this peaceful. She wasn't just healing, she was blooming. And this time, not for anyone's approval. She was blooming for herself. He never tried to fix her, he respected the woman she already was. And that made all the difference. People whispered, of course. The age gap. The Zuri connection. The drama that could have exploded. But Nia stayed silent. Let them talk. Let them guess. Her heart was finally in good hands. Because love doesn't always come where you expect it. Sometimes it shows up quietly in a room full of noise and reminds you that you are worth choosing fully, loudly, and without hesitation. And this time, she was finally seen. The night of the fashion gala in Accra felt like something out of a dream. The venue sparkled with lights, music played softly in the background, and some of the biggest names in fashion, business, and media were in attendance. Nia arrived late, not by accident, but on purpose. She wanted the moment to land just right. She stepped out of the black car wearing a gold silk gown that flowed like liquid sunlight. Her skin glowed, her smile was soft but powerful, and on her left hand was a ring. Not just any ring, a bold, elegant diamond that told the world she was loved, chosen, and completely unbothered. Beside her stood Mr. Kawisi, dressed in a sharp black tuxedo, looking every bit the king he was. Calm, confident, and proud. They walked in hand, and the entire room turned to stare. Cameras flashed. Phones came out. People gasped. The photos hit social media before they even reached their table. But the real moment? That came when Zuri, who was already at the gala in a shimmering green dress, turned around and saw them. Her jaw dropped. She blinked twice as if her eyes were lying. But they weren't. Nia had not only moved on, she had leveled up. And now the world saw it too. By the next morning, Nia and Mr. Kawisi's photo was everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, blogs all flooded with reactions. Fans called it the ultimate glow-up, the soft life revenge, the real boss move. But Nia didn't say much. She simply posted one picture from the night with a caption that said everything. "You stole a boy. I married a king, crown." No extra words. No tagging. Just truth. The internet broke. Everyone knew exactly what she meant, and they were living for it. But for Nia, this wasn't about getting back at anyone. This was about reclaiming her story. And in this chapter, she wasn't the girl left behind. She was the woman who rose and shined. After the engagement reveal, Zuri completely lost it. At first, she tried to act unbothered, posting fake laughs, vacation selfies, and captions like, "Unbothered energy only." But it didn't last. Deep down, she knew the truth. Nia had won. Not just the ring, but the respect, the love, the peace, everything Zuri had always chased, but never truly earned. So she did what she always did when she felt cornered, she started drama. Zuri began throwing shade online again, but this time it was desperate. She made long posts about fake women who pretend to be sweet and hinted that Nia was using Mr. Kawisi for money. She even tried to start rumors, saying Nia had plotted the whole thing to get back at her. But no one was buying it anymore. The internet had already chosen its queen, and it wasn't Zuri. People dragged her in the comments. "Girl, you had your chance. Bitterness doesn't look good on you. This is why you lost both of them." And speaking of Malik, he had already been dumped by the Zuri weeks before the gala. Turns out, once the attention faded, so did their spark. He quietly disappeared from the drama, No one really missed him. But the most powerful part of it all? Nia said nothing. No clapping back. No subtweets. No interviews. Just silence. Graceful, classy silence. She kept living her life, expanding her brand, glowing with love, and making real moves. While Zuri screamed for attention, Nia simply moved forward, and that silence. It was louder than anything Zuri could post. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's peace. It's success. It's walking in a room and needing no explanation. Zuri tried to bring Nia down. But Nia had already risen far above the noise, far above the mess. And now Zuri's meltdown was just another reminder that envy can never dim the light of someone who's finally shining from within. Nia's life had completely transformed. What once started as heartbreak and betrayal turned into something powerful, beautiful, and deeply inspiring. She didn't just glow up for the cameras, she grew from the inside out. And now she was using everything she learned to help other girls do the same. She launched a foundation in Cameroon focused on mentoring young women, teaching them about self-worth, business, mental health, and how to rise above noise and negativity. She visited schools, hosted workshops, and gave out scholarships to girls who reminded her of who she once was, full of potential, but unsure where to start. Every time she walked into a room, people listened, not because she was loud, but because her story spoke for her. A story of quiet strength, forgiveness, growth, and choosing love over bitterness. She never had to fight to prove herself anymore. Her life did the talking. Zuri's name? Barely came up anymore. When it did, it was usually followed by a shrug. Oh yeah, her. Nia had moved so far ahead. Zuri wasn't even part of the conversation. She had become a footnote, a plot twist in a much bigger story. And as for love, Nia wasn't caught up in fairy tales. She had the real thing. A man who valued her mind, supported her dreams, and protected her peace. But more than that, she had herself. Her power. Her purpose. Her peace. Her story wasn't about revenge. It was about evolution. And now she was writing a new legacy, not just for herself, but for every girl watching, waiting, and wondering if they too could rise. The answer? Yes. Always yes.